Hey guys. So I have a problem. My problem is I'm trying to migrate my notes from Apple Notes from Obsidian to Apple Notes, right? So ideally, with Apple Notes you can import notes, and since all notes in Obsidian are just like markdown files, you can just import them into Apple Notes, right? So and when I try to do that, so if I go over to where my votes is in in the finder, and I click on import, it imports, right? It shows under imported notes and it does all this, but it doesn't like it doesn't render it properly, right? So for example, this should be like it's not formatting the markdown, so that's the problem I'm having. So for example, if I also go into yeah, something like this, this is a table, but for some reason it's showing, it's not formatting it well. Even this should be a bunch of checkboxes, right? But just goes plain, and also like the names are missing, right? Because over at Obsidian the names are right there, right? So I went to Google and tried to find solutions to this. The most solutions I found was to convert the markdown files to rich text document files before importing them. It worked, but it means I have to do it for every single file, every single note that I have, which is a mess. And the other problem is some notes have images, and the rich text like conversion does not include the image, which is another mess. So I went ahead to try to do it myself. I mean, so this is AppleScript. So AppleScript is a way you can control most apps, macOS apps, with like simple, with like this very nice scripting language basically. So for example, yeah, you can, like, let's say, yeah, so for example you can use AppleScript to tell Apple Notes to create a new note, for example. So like if I wanted to create a new note right now, I would say yeah, let me just like clear this and do. So if I say tell application notes and tell, and I say make new notes with properties, name my new notes, and I say the body is I I also have to do tell account iCloud, and so basically some, though I only have the iCloud account in my happiness, but sometimes some people have multiple accounts like Gmail now. And inside you also need to do, I don't need to do anything. I think this is enough. If I run this, I should say new notes with a name, my notes, and as I in the body, right? So if I go over to notes, I see my new notes, I. So now this is cool, right? And also the thing is the body is an HTML. So if I say my new notes 2 and I say B tagged, so that's a bold tag, I get a new note and the body is bold. So this is cool, right? And like you can do more than that. So if we to see what more you can do with for any application with Apple Script, you can like check the dictionary. So for example, if I go to the dictionary of the Notes app and I click on it, and I click on the Notes suite, so I can create a note, I can create a folder, I can create an attachment. So basically, if I wanted to put an image in the note, right? So I can do a lot of things with Apple Script. Basically, everything this app can do, you can command it with Apple Script, right? So when I figured this out, this was like actually um a game changer because now it means I can like write more complex script to go through all the markdown files in my Obsidian vault and create them in Apple Notes. And I have to convert the markdown files into HTML files and also like create new attachments. So yeah, we can also create a new folder. So let me show you how to do that. So I can say make new folder with properties, name my new folder. And if I run this, I should see a new folder called my new folder. And in that folder, I can create a new note as much as I want. So that's the fun thing of about AppleScript. So and the more interesting part about AppleScript is you aside from running it from this script editor, you can also run it from your terminal, right? So I can do this exact same thing and say but to run from a terminal, you have to use this program called OSS script. I think it comes with all MacBooks, right? And just passing, you can like create a script file. So for example, if I say vi if I create a new file called the type of script, that's the extension we use, right? And I do this exact same thing, right? And I say and I say OSA script file that's Apple script. When I do this, I get a third note created, note three with. So this is fun, right? So now I can easily write a bash script, which and an Apple script and combine the both of them, right? So which is exactly what I did. So if we go over to GitHub, I have this bash script that asks for me to provide the folder where my Obsidian vault is located. And when it does that, it starts calling an Apple script file I created. Right. So basically this script would just like take in the folder and you know what? Let me just run the script. It's probably just easier to show that. Oh yeah, and also like to convert from Markdown to HTML. I use this beautiful tool called Pandoc. So this tool can convert anything, almost anything, not everything, but almost everything. So and I'm using it to convert from Markdown to HTML. So yep. So let me delete all this imports. So now if I run the script, it's going to ask me for where the vault is located, right? So and the vault is located in my home directory in the document tool, I think. Let me just find it. Okay, so I can just do this. So now it's basically going through every markdown file in the Obsidian folder and performing magic and creating every single folder, every single note, and after a while it's going to be done, right? So and also the notes with images, it's going to like attach it to them, right? So yeah, so let's walk through the code for the people who love to read code. You can also like check it on GitHub. But basically I have this function which is going to search for every account. Most Apple Notes accounts are always just only one, just the iCloud account. But sometimes some people link their Apple Notes to Gmail and maybe multiple iCloud accounts. So, but yeah, this function just checks for every account and asks, like, ideally, if there was multiple accounts, it's going to bring like a pop up and ask me to choose an account, right? Um, so that's what this, and this is just a function to like convert, full parts like this into to split them basically. So because AppleScript does not have like, maybe I don't know, but my basic knowledge of AppleScript is there is no default function to split strings and like all those beautiful utility functions, right? So I have to implement it myself. And I also have this function called derive folder, which is basically going to take in a Unix path that looks like this and create this folder, then create this folder under this folder, like that. That's basically what derive folder does. And register notes basically just does make new notes and put the body. So and the body, the whole conversion of from Markdown to HTML is basically done in the Bash script with pandoc. So you can see pandoc takes the file from Markdown to HTML. And yep, so whenever it's converted from Markdown to HTML, because of the way Markdown does files, so let me show you one file. So if we go to yep, so this file quotes, so basically this is where I put my like books, summary of books I read. So there is this quotes JPEG. So basically this image is meant to be in here, right? So I in Markdown format, this image was going to be there, but because this is in HTML, when I try to do the image tag, I need to reference the file somehow. And I can't seem to reference a file that is on my local disk. I have to make the file an attachment in Apple Notes, but by making it an attachment, it just adds it to the end of the file. So what I just did is just pass through, just try to find anything that follows that pattern with regex and just attach the file under. So it's like it's better than not having the file at all. So that's basically it. Like it's like a cool script that does and does it pass it like does the whole formatting well, which is fine. The only thing it does, the only issue I've noticed is um Apple it's actually an Apple Notes issue. The checkboxes the checkboxes are translated as lists instead of checkboxes, but it seems like it's an Apple Notes issue and um nothing I can do about that. So yeah, I just wanted to share this with you. It's actually fun building this. Like I spent the whole day building this. Anyways, cheers. Bye.